Iranian tanker crosses invisible line. American submarine surface with zero warning. Monday, 3:17 a.m. Red Sea, 280 nautical miles south of Suez Canal. The MT Persepolis Dream steamed north at 15 knots, carrying what Tehran claimed was agricultural equipment bound for Sudan. The manifest listed fertilizer, irrigation components, farm machinery. But American intelligence knew the truth. Hidden beneath that agricultural cover were 840 Kornet anti-tank missiles destined for Houthi rebels in Yemen. Each missile capable of destroying any armored vehicle America's allies operated, each representing dead Saudi soldiers, dead Emirati troops, dead civilians caught in crossfire. The shipment had been tracked since leaving Bandar Abbas 12 days earlier. Satellite surveillance, signal intercepts, human intelligence from port workers. Washington decided this cargo would never reach shore. No diplomatic protests, no United Nations resolutions, no warnings transmitted. Just direct action executed with surgical precision in international waters where Iran felt safe. USS Michigan lurked 400 feet beneath the surface, tracking the Persepolis Dream for the past 6 hours. Ohio-class guided missile submarine, 18,150 tons submerged displacement, converted from ballistic missile carrier to special operations platform. Her 24 missile tubes now held Tomahawk cruise missiles and lockout chambers for sealed delivery vehicles. Captain Robert Zhang commanded from the control room, studying sonar displays showing the tanker's propeller signature overhead. Michigan had been shadowing Iranian shipping for 3 weeks, waiting, watching, looking for exactly this target. The orders came encrypted through ELF communications at 2:45 a.m. Code word, harvest. Execute interdiction. No warning phase. No opportunity for scuttling. No chance for the crew to alert Tehran. The element of total surprise would be America's primary weapon. Captain Zhang acknowledged the order. Set his plan in motion. What happened next would send shock waves through every Iranian port. USS Springfield surfaced 2,000 meters ahead of the Persepolis Dream at exactly 3:17 a.m. Los Angeles-class fast attack submarine. Her sail broke the surface like a breaching whale. Emergency blow. Compressed air forcing ballast water out. The submarine rose from 200 feet to surface in 45 seconds. Then USS Michigan surfaced 1,500 meters astern. 2 American submarines bracketing the Iranian tanker. No radio transmission, no warning shot. Just steel and firepower materializing from empty ocean. The Persepolis Dream's watch officer saw Springfield sail first, grabbed binoculars, couldn't comprehend what he was seeing. Submarines don't just appear in shipping lanes, don't surface without warning. He reached for the radio, never transmitted. USS Annapolis surfaced 800 meters to starboard. 3rd submarine. The Iranian tanker was surrounded, boxed in by 3 nuclear-powered attack submarines whose combined firepower could sink every ship in Iran's navy. American MH-60R Seahawk helicopters appeared overhead at 3:19 a.m. 4 aircraft, launched from USS Bataan, positioned 90 miles east. They'd been flying nap of the Earth, radar off, coming in under Iranian detection threshold. Now they climbed to 400 feet. Spotlights illuminated the Persepolis Dream from 4 angles, turned night into day. The tanker's bridge was lit up like a stage, every crew member visible through the windows. The helicopters began circling, door gunners manning M240 machine guns. The message was unmistakable. Resistance would be met with overwhelming firepower. Iranian Captain Hosseini stood frozen on his bridge. 3 submarines, 4 helicopters, no warning, no communication, just American military power demonstrating total dominance. He knew his options had collapsed to exactly one: compliance. What's your move as the submarine commander? Type A for immediate boarding without communication. Type C for demanding surrender via radio first. Comment below. Springfield's deck opened at 3:21 a.m. Lockout chamber hatch cycling. 6 Navy SEALs emerged onto the submarine's wet deck. They launched 2 rigid hull inflatable boats stored in external canisters. RHIBs hit the water. Outboard engines roared to life. The boats raced toward the Persepolis Dream at 40 knots. Each carried 12 heavily armed operators, suppressed HK-416 carbines, flashbang grenades, breaching charges, equipment for forced entry and hostile takeover. The SEALs wore full tactical gear, night vision goggles, body armor, communications headsets linking them to all 3 submarines in the circling helicopters. This wasn't a negotiation. This was a seizure in progress. The Iranian crew watched the approaching boats with growing horror. No escape, no defense, no hope. Subscribe now if you want the full tactical breakdown of how American forces execute these operations. This analysis goes deeper than anything else you'll find. Michigan's sail-mounted speakers activated at 3:22 a.m. Voice transmission in Farsi and English. Iranian vessel Persepolis Dream. You are carrying prohibited weapons in violation of international law. Stop your engines. Prepare to be boarded. Any resistance will be met with deadly force. You have 60 seconds to comply. The message repeated. Captain Hosseini didn't hesitate. Ordered his engineers to cut the engines. The massive diesel motors wound down. The tanker's forward momentum bled off. She began wallowing in 6-foot swells. Dead in the water. Vulnerable. At the mercy of American forces surrounding her. Hosseini grabbed his satellite phone. Tried to call Tehran. The phone showed no signal. American electronic warfare had jammed all communications frequencies within 40 miles. The tanker was isolated, cut off, alone, exactly as the Americans intended. SEALs reached the Persepolis Dream's hull at 3:24 a.m. Telescoping boarding ladders deployed. Carbon fiber, lightweight, extending 30 feet from RHIB to deck level. The operators moved with practiced speed. First SEAL up the ladder, weapon ready, scanning for threats. All clear signal. Second SEAL follows, then third. Team flowing onto the deck in 20 seconds. No crew members visible outside. All had retreated to the bridge or crew quarters. Smart move. The SEALs weren't interested in the crew yet. They had a different priority, cargo holds, confirming what was actually aboard before securing personnel. Alpha team headed forward toward cargo hold 3. Intelligence said that's where the missiles were hidden. Bravo team secured the bridge approach. Charlie team locked down the engine room. Delta team established perimeter control. 24 operators taking control of a 180-meter ship in coordinated simultaneous actions. Alpha team reached cargo hold 3 at 3:28 a.m. Hatch was locked. Heavy-duty maritime padlock. The team leader didn't bother with lock picks. Placed a small breaching charge. Shaped explosive. Directional blast. Everyone stepped back. Detonation. The lock shattered. Hatch swung open. SEALs descended into the hold. Flashlights cutting through darkness. What they found confirmed every intelligence report. Wooden crates stenciled with Farsi markings. Agricultural equipment labels. But the dimensions were wrong. Too small for irrigation pumps. Too regular for farm machinery. Alpha team leader pried open the first crate. Inside, Cornet anti-tank missiles. Russian-designed, Iranian-manufactured, each missile in protective foam packaging. He keyed his radio. Harvest actual, this is Alpha 1. Jackpot confirmed. Repeat, jackpot confirmed. Cargo is hostile ordnance as briefed. The response came immediately from Captain Zhang aboard Michigan. Copy Alpha 1, secure the hold, document everything. We're going federal with this. Bravo team hit the bridge at 3:29 a.m. Flashbang through the door first. Stunning explosion. SEALs flowed in behind the blast. 6 Iranian officers on the bridge, all disoriented, all compliant. On the deck in seconds. Flex cuffs applied. Captain Hosseini tried to speak, demanding to know under what authority Americans were boarding his vessel. The SEAL team leader answered in perfect Farsi. Sanctions enforcement, arms trafficking interdiction, international maritime law. Pick whichever makes you feel better. Your ship belongs to the United States Navy now. Hosseini went silent. Understanding dawned. This wasn't a temporary inspection. This was permanent seizure. His career was over. His ship was lost. His cargo would be paraded on American news as proof of Iranian weapons smuggling. The strategic implications crashed over him like the Red Sea swells outside. Springfield launched a Tomahawk cruise missile at 3:42 a.m. single weapon. Fired from vertical launch tube, the missile climbed to 500 feet, turned northeast, accelerated to 550 miles per hour. Target: Iranian coastal radar installation 180 miles away. The facility had been tracking shipping in the Red Sea, reporting movements to IRGC command, potentially providing early warning of American operations. The Tomahawk struck 23 minutes later. Precision GPS guidance. Direct hit on the radar antenna. $18 million facility reduced to twisted metal. Iran's surveillance capability for this sector eliminated. The message was deliberate. America could strike Iranian territory from submarines Iran never detected. Any response to the tanker seizure would trigger escalation. Iran couldn't win. Tehran got the message. No Iranian naval forces deployed. No aircraft scrambled. No protest beyond diplomatic channels. They'd been checkmated. American prize crew boarded at 4:15 a.m. 12 Navy personnel qualified on commercial tanker operations, led by Chief Warrant Officer Maria Santos, 30-year Navy veteran, former merchant marine. She'd navigated everything from container ships to LNG carriers. Taking control of the Persepolis Dream was routine for her skill set. Her team relieved the Iranian crew of all duties, secured them in crew quarters under SEAL Guard. Santos examined the ship's systems. Engines operational, navigation functional, cargo secure. She plotted a course for Djibouti, American military base, 470 nautical miles southeast. The tanker would anchor there pending disposition of cargo and crew. Santos radioed Michigan. Prize crew has the con, ready to proceed on your order. Zhang's response was immediate. Proceed to Djibouti. Best speed. Springfield and Annapolis will escort. Michigan remains on patrol. Good hunting, Santos. The Persepolis Dream's engines restarted, now under American control, heading for American base. The seizure was complete. Don't miss the aftermath and strategic consequences. Subscribe and enable notifications for the complete analysis of this operation. Iranian government response came at 11 a.m. local time, 7 hours after the seizure. Foreign Ministry statement condemned American piracy, demanded immediate return of vessel and crew, threatened legal action at International Court of Justice, called for emergency UN Security Council session. The rhetoric was fierce. The actual response was paralyzed. Tehran couldn't contest 3 American submarines, couldn't recover the tanker through military action, couldn't even communicate with the crew, could only rage impotently while American forces sailed their ship to an American base with their weapons cargo as evidence of sanctions violations. The propaganda defeat was crushing. Iranian hardliners who'd promised to protect shipping routes had failed spectacularly. Moderates who'd warned against weapons smuggling were vindicated. Internal political fractures widened. The cargo documentation was devastating when released. American intelligence photographed every crate, every missile, every serial number, published high-resolution images to international media, shared evidence with United Nations sanctions monitoring bodies, provided proof to Saudi Arabia and UAE showing exactly what weapons Iran was funneling to Houthis. The agricultural equipment cover story collapsed immediately. Iranian denials sounded hollow when satellite photos showed Cornet missiles stacked in cargo holds. Tehran's credibility on every other issue took collateral damage. If they lied about this, what else were they lying about? Nuclear program compliance? Ballistic missile development? Support for terrorism? The tanker seizure opened questions Iran couldn't answer credibly. Regional allies received detailed briefings on the operation. American military attachés explained the tactics to Saudi commanders. UAE intelligence services got access to seized documents. Bahraini officials saw the missile inventory. The message was clear. America was actively interdicting Iranian weapons flows, not just monitoring, not just protesting, actually stopping ships and seizing cargo. Regional partners increased intelligence sharing, provided additional port access, expanded cooperation on maritime surveillance. The interdiction strengthened alliances, demonstrated American commitment, showed Iran's vulnerability. What should happen to the seized missiles? Was surfacing 3 submarines excessive or appropriate? How will this affect future Iranian smuggling? Share your strategic analysis below. The 840 Hornet missiles ended up at an American testing range in Nevada, reverse-engineered, studied for weaknesses, used to develop countermeasures, then destroyed in controlled demolitions. $67 million worth of weapons that would have killed American allies instead helped improve American defensive systems. The strategic irony wasn't lost on Pentagon planners. Every Iranian weapon seized provided intelligence and training value, made American forces better prepared, turned Iranian investment into American advantage. The Persepolis Dream sat anchored at Djibouti for 6 months. Legal proceedings moved slowly. Iranian crew repatriated after intensive interrogation. They weren't charged criminally, merchant sailors following orders. But their testimony provided invaluable intelligence on Iranian smuggling networks, port procedures, loading protocols, document falsification methods, chain of command. Every detail helped American intelligence map Iranian operations. Future interdictions would be easier, more targeted, more effective. The crew members returned to Iran with warnings from American interrogators. Talk about what you saw. Tell others what happens when you smuggle weapons. Spread the word that American submarines are watching. Some did. Word spread through Iranian maritime community. Crews started refusing weapon shipments. Too risky, not worth the consequences. This level of operational detail requires extensive research and military expertise. Support this channel with a like if this breakdown provided real value. Submarine warfare doctrine was validated spectacularly. 3 submarines surfacing simultaneously demonstrated coordinated operations capability. The Ohio-class conversion to SEAL delivery platform proved its worth. Los Angeles-class boats showed continued relevance despite age. The combination of subsurface tracking and surface interdiction created capabilities no adversary could counter. Iranian naval planners studied the operation obsessively, tried to identify countermeasures, found none. Submarines operating in open ocean can't be detected by coastal nations, can't be stopped, can't be contested. American dominance in this domain was absolute. Electronic warfare integration was seamless. Jamming communications before boarding prevented warnings to Tehran, prevented scuttling orders to crew, prevented media coverage of the initial seizure. By the time Iran knew what happened, American forces controlled the situation completely. The information advantage proved as decisive as physical firepower. Modern naval operations depend on communications. Severing enemy communications while maintaining friendly networks creates insurmountable tactical superiority. The Persepolis Dream crew was blind, deaf, isolated, powerless. Intelligence preparation made the operation possible. 12 days of tracking, pattern analysis of the tanker's route, crew manifest investigation, cargo manifest verification, port of origin surveillance. Every piece of information contributed to decision confidence. The submarine surfaced at the exact right moment, in the exact right positions, with exact knowledge of what was aboard. That precision came from intelligence community work. Analysts who would never be named publicly, never receive public recognition, but whose work was essential. The operation succeeded because intelligence professionals did their jobs superbly. Iranian smuggling networks adjusted immediately, stopped using large tankers for weapon shipments, switched to smaller vessels, fishing boats, dhows, spread cargo across multiple ships, changed routes, used different ports. Every adaptation added cost, added complexity, reduced efficiency, made smuggling more difficult and expensive, which was exactly the goal. American forces couldn't stop every shipment, didn't need to, just needed to make smuggling costly enough that Iran's return on investment declined. Economic warfare through interdiction, imposing costs that outweigh benefits. If you made it this far, you're part of our core military analysis community. Like, subscribe, and share this with anyone who wants to understand real naval operations. Regional deterrence strengthened significantly. Every nation watching understood the demonstration. American submarines could surface anywhere, could seize any ship, could do so without warning, without opportunity for response. The implications extended beyond weapon smuggling, commercial shipping carrying sanctioned oil, vessels transporting dual-use technology, Any maritime activity violating American interest was vulnerable. The invisible line wasn't geographic, it was behavioral. Cross it and American submarines surface with overwhelming force. Stay compliant and sail safely. Simple calculation. Clear incentive structure. The operation's strategic messaging was sophisticated. America could have sunk the Persepolis Dream with torpedoes, could have destroyed the cargo with missiles, could have killed the crew, instead chose seizure, chose evidence gathering, chose prosecution over execution. The restraint demonstrated confidence, showed America could achieve objectives through controlled force rather than maximum violence, made future operations more credible. If America would seize ships instead of sinking them, more crews would surrender peacefully, less resistance, fewer casualties, more effective enforcement, strategic patience as tactical advantage. Monday, 3:17 a.m. The moment 3 submarines surfaced and changed Iranian maritime operations forever. No warning, no negotiation, no opportunity for response. Just American naval power demonstrating capabilities Iran couldn't match. 840 missiles destined for Yemen terrorists seized. 1 tanker added to American asset forfeiture inventory. Regional allies reassured. Iranian smuggling networks disrupted. All accomplished through precise application of submarine force that surface navies can't counter. The Red Sea isn't Iranian water. International waters aren't safe havens. And American submarines are always watching, always tracking, always ready to surface without warning and execute orders with overwhelming force. What happens when the next Iranian weapons shipment tries to pass through? Will Tehran risk more tankers? How should international law handle such seizures? Comment your predictions. This conversation shapes how we analyze future operations. Your engagement determines what we cover next. Every comment, every like, every subscription, hit that bell icon. Because submarine operations continue daily. Interdictions happen in waters you'll never read about in mainstream news. This channel brings you inside those operations, real tactics, real technology, real strategic implications. The Persepolis Dream wasn't the first seizure, won't be the last. And you need to understand the pattern, the doctrine, the message being sent. That's what separates real analysis from surface-level news coverage. Deep dive with us. Stay informed, stay ahead. The next interdiction is already being planned. The next submarine is already tracking its target. The next Iranian captain is about to have the worst morning of his career. And you'll understand exactly why it happened, exactly how it unfolded, exactly what it means. That's the value this channel delivers. Monday through Monday. Operation by operation, no warning given, no quarter asked. Just American naval power executing global maritime enforcement, 1 submarine surfacing at a time.